Like previously disclosed, it's important to have a blueprint to know where you are and where you want to go with your website. What's your plan for your website? A long plan in order for you to create content regularly so that the website um, gains authority over the years and so that it stays an evergreen website that generates passive income for you. But it's also very important to notice a very important fact is that you should size your niche. Well, how how are you going to go about doing that? There is no certain specific method, but once you pick a niche, just make sure that there is a ton of things to write about that niche. So in the supplement business, so now that we've decided to create a website around supplements, if you do a quick research on supplements bodybuilding, you find here we find 31,900,000 results. So these are the blogs and articles that are talking about this. Here you see the best bodybuilding supplements for muscle growth. Here, shop supplement. Here, 5 supplement must-haves. The top 50 best-selling supplements. Top 10 supplements to get you started in the gym. So there is a lot of things that can be that are around a lot of content around this topic is on the internet. Here, this results is for the pages. We can switch to see how many sites talk about this, all in title. So this is a handy piece of code to write in order to just see only the websites that are talking about this. So here we have 31,900,000 results. If we do a research with this all in title in place, we can only see it's 54,800 results. So it's still a lot of websites are talking about this topic. A lot of websites are talking about it. Um, anyways, okay, okay, guys, let's step in to see how you can buy a domain and hosting, and how you can link your domain to the web hosting provider that you've purchased. And finally, how to install WordPress. And since we're going to make a website using WordPress, we are going to install WordPress, start working. So let's move on. So here's the process breakdown of how this is going to go. So the number one thing we're going to do is buy the domain from a registrar. We're going to buy the web hosting. That's the second thing. The third is we're going to link the domain name that we've purchased from the registrar to our web host. Then finally, we're going to install WordPress. So here we're going to go through seven websites from which you can purchase a domain name. So here you can see this website is called domain.com. This is a very high authority website. And basically, here they're telling you everything that you need to know. So these are the usual prices for .com websites and for .net websites, .org websites. For example, here they're saying .com only for $9.99. What this means is if a website has never been purchased, has never been created, let alone being purchased, the price starts from $9.99. That's a pretty good price. Also, another thing to know about this website here is that these guys, the only activity that they do online is selling domain names. So basically they specialize in selling domains. Unlike other websites, and we're going to see them very briefly. For example, this one is called Bluehost. So this is my web host provider of choice for two reasons actually. They have a very, very good customer service. Actually, I've never found any problem with their customer service, even though I was a pain in the beginning when I was creating my first websites. I really was ringing the phone every minute about the smallest thing. And to my surprise, they were very attentive. They answered all my questions. The support is excellent. You get support via phone, you get support via email, and there is a tremendous work on the follow up. So I can actually, that's the first quality. The second quality is that this is a web host provider as well as a domain registrar. So this is very interesting. You can buy your domain and then buy your web hosting at the same time. Also, with Bluehost, the interesting part is that when you buy your domain name, you get a free 30 days, I guess. Last time I checked, you get 30 days free web hosting plus an SSL certificate. So you get a secured lock on your website if you make a purchase of a domain from Bluehost, not from another website. So it's a very interesting deal. I highly recommend you to get it. Plus, their interface is very easy to use, and basically this is going to be our hosting provider. So I would much prefer if you guys choose this host here as your web host. You can check blogs, you can check reviews on the best web hosting providers that you can find out there, and I don't need to tell you that you'll definitely find this website at the top. So this website is a very high authority one. You don't really need to look no further. Let's move on. This is also a very well-known website called Namecheap. So this website, just like Bluehost, it sells hosting primarily, but you can register a domain from here directly. You can buy your domain directly from Namecheap in the same way that you can buy it from Bluehost. Though, after reading a lot of content about this hosting provider here, I suggest you just don't fall for it. And especially since here, this sounds very fishy. .com only for $0.98. Come on, man. Come on. This is completely untrue. Let's move on. This is another website, except that for this website, this is similar to the first one that I've shown. This is similar to domains.com. So this is primarily just for domains. This is another high authority and well-known website called GoDaddy. Same as Bluehost, same as Namecheap. This is also another web hosting provider. You can also buy your domain name from here. And this last one is, if you guys that are living in Europe, I'd recommend you to use this website, OVH Cloud, to purchase your domain. So it's better to purchase it from here directly if you live in Europe. That doesn't go to say that if you purchase directly from Bluehost or Namecheap or SiteGround, that it's not okay. You can purchase from whatever site you want. It's just that this is a recommendation of mine. If you are from Europe, then this website is dedicated for more of a European population. So let's move on. Like we said, why Bluehost? We don't really need to go through all the criteria of why we chose Bluehost instead of the others. Well, number one, we want to optimize time. So we will purchase our domain, and then we get a free web hosting for 30 days plus the SSL certificate that comes with it. Also, it's a very user friendly, and you got auto renewal, so you don't really need to care You don't really need to pay too much attention on having to renew your payments every now and then. So you just register your card, basically information, and they pay themselves at the end of every month. You can choose the monthly plan. You can choose the yearly plan. They also have a plan for 3 years, which is the plan that I go for because when I build websites, I seek to have a website that lasts for longer. And that's another trick that you guys need to learn about is Google prefers websites that stay out there for a while. So if you're going to create a website that lasts for 6 months and then you destroy the website or delete it somehow, it doesn't register well with Google. So 3 years website is much better than a 1 month age website. So here, this is the final name that we've picked. So Fit Gym Fanatics. This is the name that we've picked for our website. Let's go here. So the number one thing you need to do, guys, is click here, search the Fit Gym Fanatics. And here, make sure you check .com because this website we want it to be a more worldwide one. So fitgymfanatics.com. Click search. Then after you click search, this is what's gonna happen. So here they're telling us that congrats, your domain is available. So this is an available domain that you can purchase from now. The only thing that we need to check is if this domain was ever around the block before. So we need to check that out. And I'll show you in the next video the importance of this, of why you need to check the domain's history. It's critical to know if this domain was around before you came in.
Well, hello there, and I want to welcome you to this course. But before that, I just want to tell you that I am an affiliate marketer for Bluehost, and I want to disclose that and make it clear from the beginning. And so, if you get the Bluehost hosting program through my link that I have put in the last lecture of the course. So if you want to find my link, you need to go to the last lecture of this course, and basically you can get my link there for 70% off the price. Okay, so you can get the hosting plan for as small or as low as $2.95 per month. Obviously, I make a commission every time you purchase the hosting plan through my link. So I just want to let you know that is the case. And basically, there are a lot of advantages to getting the Bluehost hosting program or provider through my link. You get a free domain, a free SSL, a free CDN. We're going to talk about CDN later in the section where we will discuss how to speed up your website. And you also have a money back guarantee, which means that even if you purchase the hosting and figure that you don't like it, you can get your money back. And so if you want to find my link, you can go down there and get it. And basically, there are other links as well to Elementor, to iTheme Security, to other plugins that you can use to back up your website, to protect your website from spyware and from malware and from hackers. So basically, I've put every link that I have of every affiliate network or affiliate program that I am part of, or that I have joined. You can basically just go there and simply use these links if you want to. But just recognize that I make a commission every time you purchase it through my link. And I want to invite you again to complete the course. Take care.
Well, there are some criteria that I figured are important that we talk about before moving on, guys. So before picking a domain name, this is what you should do, guys. Make sure that the domain name you choose is short and concise, as well as easy to remember and unique. And by unique, I mean It should have a ring to it. It should have a unique, what we call in marketing, the unique selling point. That unique selling point is something specific about your domain that will drive people to easily remember it, and not just remember it, but remember it in an original way. You want to stick it in their minds somehow. So I don't need to tell you, you can do it. Make sure that the domain name you choose is also not stuffed with keywords, because if it's stuffed, then Google will consider it as a spammy website. So, for example, if you choose the following domain, um, live strong, fit, and healthy, and blah blah blah. So, if as long as you know, if you choose uh, a longer domain name, this indicates keyword stuffing, and that is definitely something that Google is against. Visitors should also be instantly to know able to know what your website is all about. So they should be from the get-go, they should be able to understand what your website talks about. So if you're selling supplements and your website's name is uh, waterbottles.com, that doesn't really sound to anybody reading the domain name for the first time as a supplements company or a supplements website. So they would go the other way. If they were really about to purchase supplements, I mean, they would never even consider, going to your website. Some might be curious, but by choosing the wrong domain name, or by choosing a conflicting domain name with what you do with your niche of choice, you drive a lot of traffic away from your site, and that is, as they say, setting yourself up to fail from the get-go. So be smart about your choice. Do not obsess over it, but your domain should indicate to the users what your site is all about. As you can see, the green sign, this is a warning sign, and this is what this is all about, really, because you need to know this before purchasing your domain. So a lot of people, they make a purchase and they think they've made the best purchase that ever happened, or the best deal that ever happened in human history, whilst they're making a mistake that will cost them that their business will never be able to uh, find its way. And if you trace the problem, most of the times it is because of a wrong thing done at the beginning of the process, a piece that was missing since the beginning. And so that piece might be, I'm just saying, might be the domain name. So don't purchase a domain name just because you fancy it, just because you find it likable to you. First of all, it's not about you, it's about the customer, okay? Like we said previously, the customer needs to understand, just by reading your domain name, what it is all about. Also, be careful not to buy a former spam website. So a lot of guys commit this mistake. They go and they buy an interesting domain name, but what they don't know is that domain that they fancy too much was the property of a spammer or spammers before, or a group that was doing all kinds of shady activities, or uh, had something to do with pornography websites. So by shady, it's all activities that are not really best customer experience in the eyes of Google. So if you buy a domain that was previously involved in those shady activities, it doesn't matter what you do, man. It doesn't matter how much effort, how many blogs you post, you're done from the beginning, because you've basically chosen a blacklisted website and you've worked so hard, but your work will never pay off. I'm sorry. So just make sure before you buy it, we have to do something. And the great thing is that we can do something. We have a tool that we can use. It's a website that we can use to check the history of a domain. Was it ever purchased? If it was the property of another person, what was that person doing before we purchased the domain name? So let's move on. So this is the website I'm talking about. This is the one that you can use to check whether your domain name of choice is good, is a good choice from the get-go or not. So let's go to this website. Let's go to it now. So click here, look it up. So just click look it up. Okay, add domain. Oh, no. Let's go back. Who is lookup? I'm sorry. Made a mistake. So click who is lookup. All right. Who is lookup. So the first website that pops is the one. So make sure this is the keyword to use. So, and click on the website. So when you click, it will direct you to this page here, which is where you want to be. So what you should do is enter the domain name. Our domain is fitgymfanatics.com. Let's run a search. They're asking us for validation. No problem. Well, let's get done with this quickly. They're just trying to make sure if we're robots or real humans. Well, I am a human. So here is the result for Fit Gym Fanatics. Don't worry, guys. Here they're writing, as you can see, it's F is big. Okay, so it's in capital. But don't worry about this. Don't worry about this because all websites are the same way. It's just that on the search results they don't show capital. Okay. Here it says that fitgymfanatics.com is for sale, and most importantly, it says the domain you're researching is available, of course, and the status of the domain never registered before. So this is great. This domain has never been purchased before. This is the first time it's going to be purchased. So this domain basically has no bad history. This is a white page. It's a virgin domain, to for the lack of a better term. So this is a great domain. So now that we're set, this is perfect. Let's move on. Okay, so guys, just before we move on, there's something that you need to know. This is an important note about affiliate websites' domain names. I figured you need to know this. So there are two notions that you should understand before moving on. There is something called EMD and something called PMD. So EMD, what this means is basically exact match domain, and PMD is partial match domain. These domains, these two are what you should avoid, because these are more suitable for local traffic SEO. So if you're trying to build a local website
If you're a coaching or a coaching guy or a therapist in London, for example, it is better to use London Coaching, and it's also better to use londoncoaching.uk, for instance. Uh, because you're a local business, you might already have a big database of clients, and so your website is only an interface um, that you're not really much dependent upon. You know, the same way a dentist, for example, is not that dependent on their website to conduct business. Though, of course, digital marketing will bring you more clients if you know how to utilize it well. You can scale a business using an existing local business using digital marketing, but a dentist is still a dentist. So people would go to a dentist. They don't need promotion. So the only promotion they need is to feel some pain, and then they'll go. Even if we don't like Drew, guys, even if it's the worst thing you can do is to go to a dentist. From this is from a bad experience, but still a dentist gets clients without really making too much effort. If your business is about supplements, just this is our case. Our business is going to be we're going to be affiliates for supplement companies. Then you should avoid uh, the following domain, for instance, like supplementsforever.com. So this sounds as a pretty fishy domain name to use. And besides, this is more of an e-commerce domain name. So you'll find that most e-commerce websites, they name their websites after the products they're selling because it makes sense. They're e-commerce websites. People need to know that these guys are shops, basically online shops, and not places where they can expect to find content around a certain subject. And worst of all, if you combine, for example, here I've chosen the perfect example to explain this. Here's this domain name, Supplements Forever. If you pick this one, and God forbid, you write a blog post or a page or an article that is also named Best Supplements, you can see here that supplements was used 2 times. So this has high potential to get you penalized by Google because Google picks up on this stuff and will definitely penalize you if you abuse this. So this tactic is called keyword stuffing. It doesn't work. In our case, our website's domain name that we've chosen together is Fit Gym Fanatics. So www.fitgymfanatics.com slash best supplements. This is better than this one here. So it's much better. Yeah, like we said, the above URL sounds fishy. Also, if you're building an affiliate website around children's toys, for instance, the following URL is much better. Lifefullofjoy.com. Now you might be thinking, what is this guy talking about? We're selling toys. What does this name here have to do with toys? But believe me, it has to do with kids' happiness and joy and playfulness. It doesn't necessarily have to indicate that you are selling toys. And it is likely much better than this one here, kidstoys.com, which looks more like an e-commerce website than an affiliate marketing website. So if you're in affiliate marketing, you should work on the on the unconscious of people. So people should be able to tell what your website about without you pointing it out. They need to figure it out for themselves because we're content creators. What we do is we create content, we provide value. The most important thing that you need to learn is to provide value for free. If you want to make some sales in affiliate marketing, you have to be able to write content for free, to give people attention, to give them content for free.
so that they can get some value off of it. And eventually, when you become really fantastic in their eyes, it will become you'll become a trustworthy website and they'll click your links. As opposed to if you are one of these websites that try to force links down people's throats, you'll not get much success. I'm sorry, you'll not get much success. So you have to give first and then ask. Okay, like we said, we are building affiliate websites here, not an e-commerce website. The population we're targeting is more of a worldwide one rather than a local one. Also, you'll find this even with Amazon. With Amazon, for example, they have different extensions for different domain extensions for different countries. So for example, the UK has .uk, France .fr, Netherlands, I don't know, you know, what is their domain extension, but this is how it goes, guys. An e-commerce website targets local activities, and this is what they do. An affiliate website, it's better to go with the .com domain extension. And one last thing to remind you, even though we explained this, but I'll try to explain more just for it to stick with you guys and in order not to make this huge mistake. So don't name your website after the product that you're trying to promote. Make sure that it has a link, that there is a link between your website's domain and the product that you're trying to sell, but it doesn't have to be exaggerated. So as long as it relates to it, it's fine.